Nail or beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. Before we get started, wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. Hey guys, Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and today I'm joined by the classic crew. We've got Pat.
Hi.
And Mel.
Kia ora.
And we are talking about what not to put on your Christmas wish list, which is just our Christmas themed way of saying we wish we didn't buy so much crap when we first started.
And just a reminder before we get started to use my code Jungle Nails for 10% off all courses. I do get a kickback from these enrollments, and that's how we support the production of the podcast.
Or use my code PATSITIVE.
And before we get stuck into our new topic, let's revisit last week. Pat, what were we on about last week?
Last week we were talking about the magical powers of AI. Like, can you even imagine that before last year or the year before we had to do things by ourselves? And now we have ChatGPT and Meta and like all those other fancy AI things. And they do things like content and whatever. And yeah, we were just learning about the things that we do. And I think we even asked ChatGPT how we can use ChatGPT. So a bit of a meta thing there. Check it out if you are like, what the heck is AI and how do I use it as a salon owner?
I don't know how to do things without it anymore.
Me too. I've got it to help me program a game because I don't know. I just felt like it.
Oh yeah, I get it to write HTML for the website all the time. But also I'll just write something and then be like, does this make sense? Or like all sorts of random stuff. I use it every single day of my life. I've already used it today.
I was using it up until like 2:30 in the morning last night, so I guess that was a few hours ago. So yay, yeah, I just can't live without it anymore.
You have the most hectic sleep schedule of anyone I know.
It's partly because my husband's not here, so I can do anything I want. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so let's kick this off with like, what was the most ridiculous or completely unnecessary thing that you bought when you first started as a nail tech?
Pat and I chatted about this a little bit.
You guys are having private podcast planning meetings without me.
No, we were just chatting last night because it was just Pat and I, and there was nobody else for me to talk to.
Oh, in your lesson?
Yeah.
In my exam.
Yeah, because Pat did her e-file exam last night and passed.
She did.
Okay, continue.
Okay, yeah, so we talked about it, and I think for me, the most ridiculous thing I bought was literally, I think about 25 like colored acrylic pots off Amazon. I can't even remember what the brand was, but I remember thinking, this is going to save me so much time. I can just lay down the colored acrylic. I won't even have to paint it. And I think I never, ever actually used them.
And if they were on Amazon, like, chances are they may not have been professional only.
No, I don't think they were. They were like a known name. I couldn't even remember what it was.
But did you buy the matching monomer?
I think it did come with like a whole set, but it definitely wasn't professional only. But it was like a popular brand.
I love colored acrylic. I completely agree that buying 25 of them is like not a great idea. But as we've said before, back in the day, there was no gel polish. So I would have killed to have 25 colored acrylics. They're just look fun. But it is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but it did look fun.
I also have like 20 colored acrylic, and it is from a professional only brand. But do I ever use that brand? No, I only happen to have their colored acrylic and the monomer. Yeah, my friend has used it. Have I? Once for a lesson, and then I was told, no, you should be using clear or
Blush.
what was the other one? Blush acrylic to do nails. And then I was like, how do I use the colored one then? And then I never touched it ever again.
Are either of you in the theory chat?
No.
We've been talking about using colored acrylic for extensions literally all week in the theory chat. because one of the questions in our theory assessment, which you can do like as it for fun because that sounds fun, at monaco.ac.nz/assessment/theory, like anyone can just do it. Just why not? See what you know and what you don't know. But anyways, one of the questions is like if you've got heaps of lifting, like which of these things multi-choice will help, and I was like trying to coach them through getting to the right answer, and one of those things is like less pigmented acrylics, so we're talking about why.
Honestly, I remember those questions tripping me up too, and that was like how many years ago? But as soon as someone puts it in there, I'm like, yeah, I know what questions they're talking about, because honestly, it got me too.
I think because the scenarios are more like not gray area, because the answer is like it either is or it isn't. Like the multi-choice is there is a correct answer, but if the question is like
it's like immediate, what's the immediate solution?
Yeah, like if a question is like what is benzoyl peroxide, there's like a very black and white answer to that, whereas I think in the scenario questions people get tripped up because I was gonna say they're having to think for themselves, but like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like a looser question.
Yeah, totally.
But
yeah. Okay.
Kat, being the newer of the nail techs, can you tell me why a less pigmented acrylic would stick better?
Oh no. Like I know that it is it to do with like the chemical makeup of the does the pigment get in the way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to elaborate?
I'm like half asleep. But when there's pigment in the powder, does the I don't know, like does the color? No, it's not the color. Is it the color?
I don't even know what you're asking. Basically, when the product is trying to polymerize and form chains and tighten up, if it's a highly pigmented product, those chains have to move around all the pigment in addition to all the other bits and pieces. So they're less able to penetrate the nail and like do their job because there's pigment in the way. So a less highly pigmented powder will have less interruption in polymerization and will be able to grip the nail better. But if you're a really good nail tech and you're experienced, it doesn't matter. Like either way, you can use them all. But if you've got lifting issues, or if you aren't that experienced and you're still working on your prep and stuff like that, then like if you already have lifting issues that you're working through, that is one way that you could minimize them. And then when you get more experience, you just go back to color and like it'll be fine.
Okay.
Like it's not like a death sentence to adhesion.
I've been told that like you cannot build structure with colored acrylic. Is that true?
It depends on the brand, I think, because there are definitely some colored acrylics that they like dry, oh my God, cure. They cure like rubbery, like just not so solid. But I think that's more about choosing a better brand, because there's plenty of colored acrylics that work just fine.
Yeah, I have come across that too. And when you go to file it, it kind of like rolls off.
Yes, like
It doesn't like go dusty. It's all like weird. Yeah.
But there's definitely brands that you can build with. Maybe within, I don't know, but maybe within brands, there's certain colors you can and can't. I don't know. Artistic only has the silver glitter and the gold glitter, and they're totally fine, but their base would be clear.
Yeah. Why would you build with colored though? Because then if they want to change their color.
Yeah, but it depends what kind of art you're doing. Like if your specialty is sculpted stilettos with like embedded art and all kinds of stuff, then your clients are probably people that are actually like soaking off. Or I know some people will do a super thin structure with clear and then all of their artwork with colored acrylic and build that all in. And then, so the structure has a lot of color in it, but they're filing all the way down to that clear level before they, it's a lot of work. It's fun, but you'd really like have to specialize in it, I think, to attract a clientele that made it worth it.
This is making me want to bust out the colored acrylic and play with it. I'm trying to think what's my most ridiculous one, because I just tend to buy a lot of stuff. I love shopping. And so when I first became a nail tech and I was let loose upon the world, I just started buying lots of stuff. Like I have like 30 colors of um gel polish and then more colors from another brand because this chick was like getting rid of her salon stock. So I was just like, yeah, I'll buy it. And so now I have all the stuff that I don't need. And then I have like so many foils and so many stickers, like like a massive box of just a lot of foils and then like pigment and I just have all these things and like gems and everything and have I used any of them? So the most ridiculous thing I think I've bought is just me buying random things. Oh, and then buying why do I have two dust extractors? Why? I don't know. I just
You've
do.
got one at my house.
Yes, I need to get that one. And then the other one I've lent it to Hannah. So I guess it's fine that I have two. I need to get the other one.
You're a dust extraction library.
Yeah, totally.
You could hire them, Pat.
Yours is just sitting on a shelf. Like me and Lily have our own ones, and yours is just sat.
There's Pat with 3 and Mel with 0.
No, I have two.
She doesn't have one at her own house.
Yeah, I need to go grab it off you. I keep forgetting every time I'm there.
I should just courier your one that is sitting here to Mel's house, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay, I should get that sometime."
Yeah, and I'll keep it until you actually want it. I'm gonna wait until Expo and then have a look.
Yeah,
Good idea.
they're so expensive, but they're so worth it. I would say if we're like talking from the perspective of things people could buy as newbies, it's like, yes, get a dust extractor, but I personally wouldn't get a dust extractor for the first like month or 2 months of training, purely because, not because you don't need one, because I would love you to have one, but I think it takes you that long to like learn what you like. Like you'll go, oh, well, Instagram told me that this one's really good, so I'm going to buy it confidently. But then, like, even me and Lily have two different extractors because the first one I got based on what people had, like, all the feedback I got from other people. And then a year later, I think I got it at Expo too. And then a year later, I'm like, well, now we need a second one. But I got a totally different brand because by then I'd learnt different things about different ones and had a different one I wanted to try. So we've got two different dust extractors and they have two different sets of pros and cons to them. So I don't know what you guys think, but I would say immerse yourself in the course for a month or maybe up to 2 months and ask everybody all the things and then invest in a dust extractor because it's so expensive.
I probably wouldn't even, I mean, I'm what, 4 or 5 years into mine and I haven't even brought one yet because I just haven't. Like, you don't need one, especially when you're training. I don't think you even need one.
I didn't have one for like probably even 15 years. But now I don't like the noise of it. I can't hold a conversation while it's on, not because it's that noisy that I can't, but because I get sensory overload from that amount of noise right in my face, so I can't concentrate on what the client is saying, so I just like wait. But it does, I love how much it cuts down on dust in the salon. Like, it's, for me, it's not even about me breathing it in, it's about cleaning.
Yeah. I would say until you're like regularly doing clients, like, you know, at least a few a week, then I wouldn't even bother buying one until you, have a
That's
good
fair.
amount of use, you know? And same thing, like, don't bother, because I'm pretty sure I brought one of those like half circle looking ones with a little wee vent and an arm pad on the top, and it was such crap. Same thing, like, invest in a proper one. If you're going to buy one, buy a proper one.
Exactly, which is why I say like wait and know exactly what you're getting. I like both the ones we have, but one is louder but also suckier, like better, and the other one is quieter but not quite as sucky. And when I first got it, I still thought it was sucky. Like, I thought it was real good. I still do. And it is quieter. At the time, I thought it was really loud. Then I got this new one. And I'm like, holy smokes, this is a jet engine. But it's the noise and the effectiveness are, what's the word? Like, they go together. Like, the noisier one is more effective. So the noise isn't for nothing.
Yeah, that's probably another thing then for me that I wasted money on was a dust extractor.
Have you guys ever bought something just because it was like trendy, but then you've never ever used it?
I mean, probably.
100% have.
I have like pastel magnetic, is it? Yeah, the cat eye. And in theory, I should love it because ooh, sparkly and ooh, pretty. But the ones I got, I think because they're pastel, they just barely show up. And I struggle because I don't know, like, am I just bad with magnets? I can't make it work properly. And then I don't know if it's just the brand. Maybe I should try a different brand of cat eye because it's so trendy. But every time I try to use this one, it just doesn't work.
Cat's eye was the thing that was in my head when I asked this question. Like, so I have 3 of them and I do use them, but I refuse to buy more than that. Like, I had someone on the weekend say, like, so what cat's eyes have you? She loves cat's eyes. She always looks at what I've got. I've got them sampled out. So the 3 I have are over multiple bases. So you get like maybe 10 cat's eye swatches or something. Um, and she was like, what ones do you have again? And I was like, the green and purple, the red and orange, and the like light gold. And you could just tell she kind of wanted to be like, okay, but get more. And I just refused because for as often as I use them, which I do use them, but not all the time. Like, I would say I use them once every maybe 3 weeks. Like, this is not a thing I'm using all the time. So for that frequency, I'm not spending more money. Like, I probably haven't even, well, I don't charge extra for cat's eye, but like, I won't have made the money back on them yet. I just have them because they were fun and pretty.
They are so fun and pretty though, yeah.
But that's, I think when people see a trend and then buy like 12 cat's eyes, someone out there is going to argue this on me and be like, no, but I love them. But the thing is as well, you will always do a lot of what you love. So like, I do a shit ton of pigment work because I really love pigment. So if I see something, I'll point it out or I'll like find a way to work pigment in. So there are people out there that are making the most of their 12 or 24 cat's eyes, but I just think seeing a trend and running out to get like, say, 30 times 10 is $300 worth of cat's eye, just not necessary. It makes me think of shadow polish because I for sure had like probably 30 shadow polishes.
I kind of wish they would come back.
Those were so trendy then.
You wish they would come
I
back.
kind of do, yeah. I can't think of anything that I brought that it was trending, but I did contemplate buying like a tortoise shell kit with just like all the colors and all the gel colors.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, nah.
I refused to buy matte top coat until Artistic came out with one, but even then, most of the time, I still do matte manually.
Yeah, I don't have a matte top coat. I just use correction gel and buff it.
And the same with blooming gel. Like, Artistic has a blooming gel, it's great, but I can do almost everything that you can do with blooming gel, with glossing gel, with gel top coat. So I think that's one of the things is like companies, it's their job to make money, and the more money they make, the more they can put into development and getting cool new things. But I think a lot of companies are like, people love matte nails, let's give them a matte top coat, when actually you don't need that thing. Like, that's sometimes I love a matte top coat, sometimes I don't, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just sometimes a company will make a product to sell a trend when actually you didn't need it, like chrome top coats, heaps of stuff where you could use the stuff you've already got.
I guess like you were saying, if every set you were doing was matte, then yeah, invest and buy a matte top coat because it's going to save you time. But if it's one every 50 sets, then you don't need it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other trends there have been. Like, I bought a thing of glow in the dark that I never used, but I don't know that that was a trend. I just saw it on a few sets and thought it was cool.
I bought one of those like those temperature based ones where it changes color based on if it's hot or cold. And okay, so full disclosure, I bought a bunch of them when I was not a proper nail tech and I was just buying the retail ones and I would put them on myself. And I found it fun at the time. But when I bought a professional only brand and I got the color changey ones, like I put a sticker on it to remind me that it's the color changey one. then it's sat on my shelf. It's just sitting there. And in theory, I'm like, oh, I should use that. But I don't. And I think they're good for like getting the ombre effect because it's like on the free edge, it's cooler. So then therefore the color is a bit different on that end. But like I could just do ombre on pigment. So why do I make my life harder by buying a specialty like gel polish? So that was kind of dumb.
The old trends.
Hey guys, Penny from the future here. Are you ready to take your salon to the next level? The Client Magnet is a free 5-day online coaching program by Monaco Nail Academy designed to help you attract and retain clients. With our comprehensive program, you'll learn proven techniques to grow your client base and keep your schedule packed. From expert marketing strategies to client retention secrets, we've got everything you need. Transform your salon and achieve the success you've always dreamed of. Join the Client Magnet today and start making your salon the go-to spot in town. Head to www.monaco.ac.nz/magnet.
You know, this is totally off topic, but we were talking at work yesterday. Someone came in and asked for like shoe polish. And we went down this rabbit hole of like, oh, Pat, you might not remember. You're probably too young. Remember the like ugly as nomads? Do you remember them, Penny?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh. And the little leather tag that you used to get on your lace. And we were like, oh my God, they were so ugly, but they were such a flex if you had that little leather tag.
So many trends are ugly though.
I was like, God, I'm glad that never came back.
Oh, you've just jinxed it now.
Uglier than Crocs?
Do you know what they are, Pat?
I have no idea what they are. I'm about to Google. Wait, are they like what's uglier? Those ones or like Crocs?
Oh, nomads for sure.
Oh, okay. Googling this.
I can't think of any other trends that I've kind of got sucked into. I think the only other thing that I overspent on was like nail brushes. Like I thought, oh, if I've got the right brush, I'll just be able to do it perfectly like that person. When really, I pretty much use the same brush for everything.
Same.
Even though I've got a whole jar of them, I always search through them for my one favorite brush.
I underspent on nail brushes because I had I got like this big starter kit and it came with 3 acrylic brushes that were 3 different sizes. And I will say that I believe is totally unnecessary. You do not need 3 sizes of acrylic brush. You just need like your one favorite size. But I had my one favorite that I always used, and then when it died I would change to a different size and just make it work until I'd gone through the 3 I got in my kit. And so that last one though, I just had that for years. And when I eventually bought a new acrylic brush because they're so expensive, I put it off. I got a new one and I was like, what the F? Like, how have I gone this hot? How was I using this one that I had destroyed years earlier by by now standards? Like, what the hell? I was struggling so hard. And then the same with my favorite nail art brush for the longest time was like a shitty, like less than $1, like one. It probably came in a pack of 10 off some, I don't know, AliExpress didn't exist back then, but like something like that. It was the shittiest brush, but I loved it. Yeah, so I underspent on brushes for sure. I should have just, every time my acrylic brush turned to shit, I should have got another one because it makes your life so much easier. And I mean, I loved my art brush, but I like a weighted one now.
I see the trend now of people using these massive acrylic brushes and then somebody comes in with like a mop or a broom and it's so funny because they're so wide. I don't know how they like shape it, or they must be just getting monomer like all over the client.
So you guys saying that you bought too many acrylic powders and too many this, that, and the other. What is the right number of, like, let's say traditional polish, gel polish, and glitter? What's the right number for a beginner?
I reckon, like, I would tell someone now, just cover your basics, like have a red, have a pink, have a blue, and have your black and white, and go from there because remember, you can always customize, right? So if someone says, oh, that blue's too dark, You can use your white and your blue and make a color. But yeah, definitely just one of each color to start and then start expanding. Like I've got like 12 different pinks. People will look at it and go, nah, I don't like any of those. And I'm like, are you kidding? How many do you need?
I feel the same about red.
Yeah, like it's red.
I have like 12 reds, and people will be like, do you have one that's a bit bluer? And I'm like, I have what you're looking at.
Honestly, it drives me insane.
I think traditional polish, like, no one asks for it until they do ask for it. I reckon, though, you could have like a silver glitter and a gold glitter, because you can, if kids want a kids polish or whatever, you can chuck a sparkle on them and you can layer those. And then like a nude, a maroon, pink, and I guess like a white for French or something. But you probably don't do that much French traditional. So maybe just 5, like a pink, a nude, a maroon, and then like a couple of glitters that can be layered or used on kids.
You
And
might need the white one for your, like, when you're learning though, like for lessons and stuff.
But you don't have to do a French tip with white. So you could just, if it's just for a lesson, you could do your French tip with maroon and then move on with your life.
Yeah, I think same thing. Just don't go overboard because I'm sure there's colors in my collection that I've never used or used once maybe because people just don't gravitate to it.
Yeah. And then with gel polish, I reckon you could easily start with like 12. Like you could start less, like what you're saying, Mel, but like a black or white, a nude, pink, blue, purple, maroon, because I think that's just, it's not impossible to make, but it's requested often enough that I think it's worth the investment to get like one of those like wintry colors and a sparkle that can be layered.
If you're like really into color theory, you could just buy like red, yellow, blue, black, and white, and then just do a lot of color mixing.
Yeah, for sure. But I reckon 12. And you swatch those, and then you make a bunch of custom colors and swatch those, and you'll have 60 swatches. You just have to remember to write down like 2/3 this and 1/3 this or whatever, so that you can remake it. But you can buy 12 and easily have 50, 60 swatches straight away.
I remember I bought and this was totally unnecessary, by the way. I was like, in my head, I was like, "Ah, I'm gonna become someone who's just color mixing all the time." So I bought one of those storage container things where you do the color mixing and then you put it in there, like they have little compartments, and then it's supposed to, what is it? Like, yeah, a palette.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a palette for your custom colors, and then it's not going to cure or whatever. It's just going to stay there, and then you can use it again next time. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to have all my custom colors there so I don't have to remember. I mean, obviously remember it and then put it in there. But did I ever use it? No. Like, literally, I bought it so excited, and then I just put it down and never opened it. I don't even know where it is because, like I said, I was let loose upon the world. What?
Bring it to me with your dust.
Yeah, it's over at Mel's house. Yeah. I went to Expo last year. I spent $2,000 on, I don't remember what I spent on. I just bought lots of stuff and gave my husband a heart attack. So yeah, I just like spending money. It makes me happy, and it's not, I'm circulating money in the economy. That's what I tell myself to justify it. It's not great.
Maybe it's just like a journey kind of thing. Like maybe we all do it. Like I went to Expo, same Expo as Pat. What did Mal buy? One single file and one pot of black art gel. That's it. And that's the whole thing that I brought. Maybe it's just like a journey. Maybe you just learn over time that you don't need all that stuff. I don't know.
That expo was the expo where I bought 2 dust extractors.
The same expo.
Yeah. I bought 2 dust extractors. I bought one that was portable. What?
You're one person.
Yeah, I know. I am one person. One of the dust extractors is like portable. You don't need a battery. And I was like, I need that because I'm doing mobile. And then I was like, well, I'm not doing mobile anymore. So it's with Hannah.
But also, like, unless it's built into your desk, all dust extractors are portable.
No, like portable in the sense that like you don't plug it in. It has a battery. That's what I meant.
I think I looked at that with you, Pat, because I was considering getting one then. And you were like, come, look at this one. And I still don't have one.
I love that you consider what you're buying very carefully. That's so good.
I'm just like, do I actually need it? Nah. I know. I think I actually said, nah, I'd rather go like out for dinner or go to the casino later or something than buy that.
That's fair. That's
I
so fair.
think it was Nati was like, nah, let's go to the casino instead. And I was like, okay.
Well, now you know when you are in the market for an extractor fan who to hit up because we know
Yeah.
someone with a spare. Hey guys, Future Penny here again. Just a super quick interruption to let you know that if you head to monaco.ac.nz/subscribe, not only can you sign up to our weekly newsletter, but you'll also get a free video lesson from our course, The Art of Pigments. That's monaco.ac.nz/subscribe.
I was gonna say something else that I bought that I'm just like, why did I buy that? I have so many like stamping plates and I have stamping polish and the stamping gel and I don't know how to use it. And every time I've tried to use it, it pisses me off. I know some people are like so good at stamping, but so far in my life, I haven't needed it and no one has really requested anything that requires me to do stamping. So I'm just kind of like, do I keep trying with this since I already have it, or should I try to set it on? But also, I want to hoard things, so maybe I will just keep it and look at it in dismay.
Add that to my package because I love stamping. So we've got this
Okay,
extractor,
maybe I should book a one-on-one with
stamping.
you, and then you can explain it to me.
I was gonna say stamping plates and stamping polish, but I actually do use mine. I mean, there's some plates that I never use, but I do actually use mine.
I've never bought one in my life.
I love it. It's so fun and easy.
Is there anything that you guys have bought that you thought was going to be like a complete game changer and then it wasn't? Or flip side, what's the thing you've bought that has been like the biggest game changer for your work?
We were talking about this again last night at e-files because last night Pat did her e-file exam. So this is why we're talking about e-files. I also brought a cheap e-file off Amazon. Again, another well-known brand, but definitely not professional only. And it was so rubbish. I was like, why is everybody so hyped about these e-file things? And then it wasn't until I upgraded it and brought a professional one that I was like, okay. Now I get it.
I did not buy one of the cheapy EFA. Okay, yeah, no, I didn't do that, but I did buy cheapy. I just wanted to see what would happen. I was like, how bad could it be? I bought a bunch of drill bits of e-file bits from Temu, and lo and behold, they're not great. They don't file. They're just loud, and you get the frictiony heat, and it's not great. So buy from reputable brands, people. Learn from my mistakes.
Mhm. But I think that's the one thing that I did invest in that really did change the way I work.
Yeah, I was going to say e-file too. Like I had an e-file from the start, but I was taught to use it specifically for French rebalances, not for any of the stuff we actually use it for now. And I think my biggest game changer was for the longest time, I just had a safety bit. And then when I started actually like learning about the different bits and what they do, that's a game changer.
Yeah, and good quality bits. Totally.
Builder in a bottle in general, game changer.
Oh, builder in a bottle, so good. Everyone should be using it. Yeah.
And rubber base too.
Pigment. Oh my gosh, I love pigment. Initially, I was like, I don't get it. I don't like it. And then I think Penny, you were doing like a live stream or something explaining how to use it, and I was like, now I like it. And then yeah, I'm just like pigment all the time. Anytime someone comes in, they want something easy. I'm just like, you want an ombre? Let's do a quick ombre. And it's actually quick. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a fucking genius compared to like trying to do an ombre with like gel polish or something. Or I remember when I was like, again, just like into nails for myself. Like I would try to do ombre with traditional polish, and it was like the
Oh,
most painful experience. It was just not. Let's
not
not
great.
even go back to those times.
Actually, I know a game changer of mine, artistic. And I don't mean this in like a let's spend some time selling our shit kind of way, but the brand that I was using before, I would have constant jelly donuts. I hadn't been educated what they were, which, so listeners, we nickname undercured jelly donut, like when it gets a wrinkle or a bubble because it's like hard on the outside, gooey on the inside, like a jelly donut. And so that's what I mean when I say jelly donuts. But the brand I was using before, every single time with jelly donut, I hadn't been educated on what that was or why it was happening, so I would just top coat it and hope for the best. But like that brand, I had to take so much care and attention with all the time. And then I won some artistic at a class, and then I was like, the heck, it just works. What do you mean? So like definitely having a play with brands, I think like for me, finding artistic was a game changer. Like everybody will find, I don't really know that many people that are still using their very first brand. Like, well, I guess that's not true because lots of our students do stick with artistic if they get an artistic kit. But even then, you still like get a few extra bits and pieces and like start to mix and match. Not mix and match like layering the same system. Don't do that. But mix and match like you might have 2 or 3 systems.
I've never changed from artistic.
There's no need to when it's good.
Yeah. And that's what people say, like, oh, why don't you experiment? Why? Like, I don't have issues with artistic. Like, it works great for me. So
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And there's so much money involved trying to switch brands because then you have to buy like the lamp and then you have to buy all the like the basic stuff and then
yeah, for something that's not broken, like why do I want to change it?
Yeah, because I have a couple brands because I used a different brand when I first like 'cause like I said I bought someone's stock and I find that this is just me shilling artistic, but it's like when people request colors from that other brand instead of the artistic one, I find that the color payoff isn't as good, and then I end up having to do like a third layer just so it's not like streaky and patchy sometimes, and it's it's more obvious with like pastel colors, but yeah, and then I just get annoyed, and then I think to myself, I should just buy more artistic and then slowly phase these out. Yeah.
What are some of the things you wish that you researched more before buying? Like I talked about extractor fans and stuff, but is there anything else you've bought that you just wish you'd put more time and energy into researching?
Everything I've ever bought. Because I just want something and then I buy it. So that's my problem. I think I really need to, and I'm trying to work on this now that before I buy it, I'm trying to be like, what's that for? Am I going to use this? Like, for example, when I first started at Monaco, I bought a bunch of the like the no cleanse like top coat thing, instant shine top coat that's specifically like for hard gel. And did I have hard gel at the time? Did I know that it would shatter if I put it on top of something soft like gel, no, gel polish? No, I did not know that. So then I just bought a bunch and then I was like, this doesn't work. It's shit. But it does work, just not on the product that I had underneath it. So hello, research what you're doing, Pat. If I could only go back in time. I know. It's like, oh, Pat, stop spending money.
But you just don't know what you don't know, right? And you learn. So the lesson is don't just dive in and buy shit until you know what it is and what it's for. And I think my one for this question would be like the lighting, a lamp. I've been through so many like overhead lights because I just saw it and thought, oh, that's cool. And then they were really yellow or like this really like stiff arm ones. I don't like that. I like to be able to like move it and adjust it. And now I just literally have like an IKEA one with a daylight bulb in it. And I love it. Like it's not even like a nail lamp, but it's on like an arm that you can move and adjust and the head swivels. I prefer that. So I wish I had just, I don't know. Is that just something you learn what you like or should I have researched it? I don't know.
Probably you'd just have had to learn it the hard way no matter what. Like my first light was similar, like an IKEA, like an office light on an arm kind of thing. And it had been in my household when I was a kid. Like I remember it being on a desk in my house when I was a kid. I don't know how I ended up with it, but I had it for like, I don't know, solid probably 8-10 years. I miss that light. That was the best light. And now I have like an expensive M&D daylight light, and it's good, but like nothing ever beats that first light.
Is the M&D one just like an arm type of thing? Yeah.
I love my
I
M&D.
wish I could move it more.
And just like for photos and stuff, like I just have that one light, but because I can move it down and adjust like the direction of the light.
Yeah.
That's what I like, rather than it just being like down all the time, down.
I think at some point I will get a second light so I have like that overall one and then one that
Mm,
I can make more specific.
I think what Natty does is I think she has the M&D light and then she has like a round bulb kind of light as well. And then the round bulb is the one that she uses specifically for taking photos.
yeah.
I would love the idea of having two of those like long arm M&D style ones. I think that would be so cool for photos and everything. And just more light in general.
Mm,
I was gonna say something and then I forgot what it was, so I'm just
yeah.
gonna.
Like
Huh.
those trending ones, and I think you have one of these, Pat. The like ones that go from one end and like it's like a rainbow type shape, and the
Oh,
light goes all the
the
way
moon,
around.
like an arch thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I have one of those, and I love it. I love it specifically for lashes because
Okay.
mine swivels and everything. I was using it as my nail lamp for a while because I kept forgetting to bring my M&D lamp in because I'm like that. I just forget to bring stuff that I need to use. So it was very annoying because the one I have is on a base because again it's for lashes. So every once in a while I would move the wrong way and then all of a sudden the whole thing is going to topple over because it wasn't set
Um,
up correctly because again it's supposed to be for lashes not nails.
mm,
Um we had a few mishaps in this salon. Luckily my lamp has survived. So do not buy a lash lamp for doing nails. That's not a good
mm.
idea if it's on the base. But they do look cool. I have heard that like the ones that sit on your desk, I heard that they're quite annoying, but they look very pretty when it's the glittery ones.
Mm.
But I heard they're annoying.
I want a lamp made of glitter.
Yeah, it's like covered in like, I mean, you could just like, put rhinestones all over your lap.
Yeah,
No
I'm
one's
gonna
stopping
do that.
you. Now that I've said that, I want to do that to mine. So
Well, you can't do it to your extractor fan.
Is it going to
because
hit
it's
my face?
there.
Yeah.
But if I come get it, then I can bedazzle it. Maybe that will motivate me to
Well,
come and
you've
get
got
it.
no plans today, right?
No, I have to pick up my husband from the airport. So maybe, otherwise, maybe I would
So, okay, this is like kind of a loaded question because we sell them, but like, how do you guys feel about pre-made kits? Like, I have an opinion on this, but how do you guys feel about the pre-made kits that you can get from educators?
Okay. I think it's good because, like, I brought a kit when I signed up to train because when you start, you literally have no idea what you need, and you don't know the difference between pH prep and dip prep and this and that and that. Like, it's all just blah, blah, like gobbledygook. I think it's good because you know you're getting what you need, and then if you were like me and on a budget, you know you've got what you need to get through your course, and then if you want to, you can expand. I was thinking before when we were talking about what colors you need, that could be like a kit you could offer, like startup colors. This is all the colors you need to get started with clients or whatever. I don't know. But I think it's a good idea because then you can trust that you're getting what you need and it's good quality.
We used to have a 10 color, 20 color, and 30 color kit, and no one ever bought them.
have. You always just want to pick the ones you want, I think. That's the trouble
Sure.
with colors. I was gonna say that I didn't buy any of the kits. Um, but what I do like about them is I like to go into the listing for the kit, look at what's in there, and then grab the things I want and put it in my cart. So
Mm,
instead of being like, you must get all of these, I just go, well, I need most of those and I will get them, but I don't want to get all of them at the same time. Like, I just
mm.
like the illusion of choice. I ended up getting everything anyway. It was just I don't want to get them all at the same time. I don't understand.
You can also do it backwards. I did this for a student yesterday where you add the kit to cart and then take out what you don't want.
Ah, I did not know you could do that.
I didn't either until yesterday.
Wow, okay. I'm learning something new. I might try that. Yeah.
I did get a starter kit. Well, my course that I did came with a starter kit whether you wanted it or not, which is fine. Um, because I didn't know what I needed. So that's cool. The only thing was that then you could upgrade and you could turn it to like I think 2 different levels of fancier, like of more stuff. And I pulled a Pat and kind of, because there was no choice, but I impulse purchased like only Pat can. And I went for the biggest one, the biggest kit, which I think like on top of my course, it was something like another 6 grand or something. Like it was something really a lot. Especially back 17 years ago. Like it was a lot of money. It did come with an e-file, which was listed as like $1,100 on its own.
Whoa.
And it lasted at least 10 years. Like I had it for a really, really long time. But then also it came with a desk. So, and the desk was like great. And that lasted me also a really, really long time. I think actually because like it was a tabletop that attached to 2 sets of drawers. And eventually I think we actually split it and like got pieces to turn it into 2 desks, I think. But yeah, so it did come with like a lot of stuff. But what I would say is the kits are a great idea, which I say with bias because I made the Monaco kits and I've been very careful to make sure like open to feedback, but it's the right stuff you need to get through the course and not too much more than that. So I'm not like trying to oversell really large size products just to make a bunch of money off you, but also not selling undersized products where you have to buy more to be able to finish your course. Like I've tried really hard to make it in the middle. And that's the thing I regret about what I did when I studied, was going for that big version of the kit. It came with like multiples of every color and like multiples of retail items and like all the stuff that at the time I was like, that's so cool, I'm gonna be set up for life. Well, I was set up for life because I never sold any of them. Like there's so many things that just stayed like on a shelf for a million years to come. And so many of the products where some things I ran out quickly, but other things I just had like those colored powders for 100 years because it turns out I didn't need such a big size of certain colors. And like just I think just ask your school which kit covers exactly what you need for the course and hope that they're honest with you, which in our case we just have only that, exactly what you need for a course. But yeah, because my mistake was buying 1,000 other things thinking I needed them.
Yeah. I guess it's just different people, right? Like I'm so opposite to Pat. Like I don't really care what's in the kit. You just tell me what I need and then send it to me. Like I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to take stuff out. Just give me what I need and tell me how much it is.
I mean, that's smart because I don't know, when I signed up to my course, I sure as hell did not know what I needed.
No, neither.
But then I also didn't know that I didn't need all that extra crap.
I guess you have to like
upgrade.
have trust too, right? Like you have to trust that your academy's, like you say, not selling you all this crap you don't need and stuff like that.
Penny from the future popping in just quickly to remind you that if you want more bookings in Salon, you can join our free marketing workshop, The Client Magnet, at monaco.ac.nz/magnet.
I was just saying bye to Luna. I've been petting her for the last 20 minutes. She's finally gone. Oh, that's enough, peasant. Bye.
See you next time I need a scratch.
We're still talking about beginners. What would be your advice to a newbie on balancing quality versus affordability when shopping for new stuff? Because it is a big expenditure to have all this new stuff, but you also want to have the best of everything. So how would you balance quality versus affordability?
Prioritize what you really need and then invest in that and then focus on the next thing that you really need. And just buy once. Don't do what I did and waste money on cheap stuff and then upgrade later on. Just prioritize what you need and then invest in that properly and then move on to the next goal. Like, yeah, I've wasted so much money on cheap stuff and then ended up upgrading it. Like, it's just not worth it.
Totally. If I could do it over, what I would probably do is, who am I kidding? I'm not going to do it. But if I could, I would research the brands first. And if possible, try and, if you've got any friends, you can go and hang out with them and see what their products are like. Like we have done it before where um like a few nail techs got together and just like looked at people's swatches and like tried playing with them, and that was so fun. And it gives you a sense of like the different brands people are using. So if you can do that and like have a practical demo, that's so good. um Try not to, like Mel said, don't go cheap because you're like, oh, if I buy the cheap thing, I'll be able to get more stuff. But if you buy the cheap thing and you have to throw it out because it's not any good, then you've wasted more money. Like I've tried like cheaper buffers and files, and it's just not the same. Like literally I'll be like, oh, but it's not the artistic one, so I got to throw that out kind of thing. Um, yeah, it really does make a difference. So if you can just research first, like maybe read reviews, get the basics. You don't have to buy everything under the sun,
Yeah.
really.
And I think the only other thing I was going to say was just ask for feedback. Like hop on Facebook beauty groups, nail tech groups. Like Monaco has heaps of groups, and just ask for people's feedback. Like, do you have this? What do you think? People will straight away tell you, nah, it's crap, don't buy it.
There's also, if you're like on Facebook and stuff, there are also buy and sell groups. So you could try swapping or buying something that people are trying to just like, because they don't need it anymore or they've got double ups. That's how I ended up with my many, many, many colored acrylics.
So I was gonna say almost the exact same thing as you, Pat, at the start about testing out brands, because my thing with affordability versus quality is do not scrimp on your lamp. Do not get a shitty cheap LED lamp that promises it can cure anything. It's lying. And you have to use the lamp that matches the brand of gel polish. So if you're using artistic gel polish, you have to use an artistic lamp. If you're using Ugly Duckling, you have to use their lamp. Whatever it is, you have to use the matching lamp because all gel polish cures differently. It feels hard at 55% cured, but it is only safe for long-term wear at 95% cured, and you have no way of knowing that you are not walking around with raw plastic on your human body, which you can then develop lifelong allergies, or worse, give them to other people. And you can get like onycholysis where your nails start to fall off, like all sorts of things from undercuring. And overcuring isn't much better. But so if you use the wrong lamp, you are ruining people's nails, you're ruining your potential business. It's all bad. Don't do it. But in order to invest in a good lamp, you need to know what brand you're going to use. So, brand wise, go professional only. Do not pick one that you can get off eBay or whatever. Find one that requires you to show a qualification or proof of study to get access to it. I highly recommend artistic. And then book in with a nail tech who uses that brand. And you can just call the distributor and be like, hey, I really want to test out artistic. Can you tell me a nail tech in the Hamilton area who uses artistic so that I can book in and get my nails done with them? And then you just go and get your nails done. You watch the process while it's happening. And so you get a rough idea, but then you get to wear and feel the product and experience the product. And when you have done that and you're like, yep, no, I think this is a good brand, invest in the correct lamp. That's your number one thing. And then get a few colors and a few bits and pieces and build everything up later. You don't need much of anything, but you do need a good lamp.
Mic drop.
I mean, do you disagree?
No, I definitely do not disagree. So I agree. Why did I say that in the most roundabout way?
It's kind of what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, it's kind of just what we all do. So
I regret buying like what do we call it when it's not professional only, like it's for like anyone can buy it? What's the term for that?
retail?
Anyway, okay, cool. Yes, let's go with that. So I remember buying retail gel polish and lamp and stuff, and Honestly, I'm so lucky that I haven't developed an allergy and as far as I know, haven't caused any allergies on people because the instructions and the booklets that come with it, there's barely anything. You don't know what you're doing and you think you've done it right. Maybe I don't know, unlikely. And it would end up like I would do the layers too thick and then the polish would just slip off in the night. Like it was so bad. Like I was just under curing like crazy. Like I said, lucky that no one's gotten hurt. Because like that's lifelong. It might affect your ability to get dental care, that kind of thing. So, um, yeah, stay away from it. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know if it's been tested as well. I think we have an entire episode where we're talking about this kind of thing. Um, yeah, you want to keep it safe. Like I have a bunch of stuff from the retail products or whatever, and I just refuse to put it on people. It's like I know some people just put it on top of their professional only, but I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I would rather just chuck it out or yeah, maybe just chuck it out. It's just sitting there.
So, final thoughts on this topic. If you could add one thing to every nail tech's wish list that you think they need, so taking it back to their Christmas wish list, what would it be?
Beginner?
Both.
Okay. Not beginner, e-file, 100%. But obviously you can't have one of those when you're a beginner. Beginner, perfect, amazing lighting.
Oh yeah, lighting is a game changer. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go because it's a Christmas wish list. I'm gonna go with something fun. I think everyone should use pigment. I love pigment.
I agree, pigment's the best. I think the number one thing would be like, I guess I'm going to do the opposite and go boring because I was going to say a really good brush. And then I thought to myself, but also really good files and buffers. Like just those basics, like Pat said earlier, not scrimping on Temu files or whatever, like getting the good ones. It makes such a difference. The day that I retire a file and replace it with a fresh one, oh, what a great day.
Not a great day.
So true.
So, like, investing your money obviously into a lamp. I agree with the pigments. What'd you say, Mel?
Lighting.
I agree with the lighting, but good quality brushes, good quality files and buffers, and then also lighting and pigment for fun.
Yeah. I would also say gloves. Like, get used to wearing gloves right from the start. So then you just wear
Yes.
gloves. Like, protect yourself. Like, I trained through COVID and we had to wear gloves, and now I just feel so weird touching people's hands without my gloves on.
And whatever you do, don't get a black desk. Don't get black anything.
What's wrong with a black desk? I don't have
Yes.
one, so. Ah, of course. That's why everyone has a white one.
You think they look sleek and professional, they just look dirty all the time.
Um, okay, white desk it is.
Any final thoughts, team?
Don't be like us. Don't be like us and overspend. Be smart with your money.
I mean, hey, if you've got lots of money to blow, maybe send some of it our way.
If you've got lots of money to blow it on more education.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, come to Summit.
Yeah.
And with that done and dusted, before you disappear, like our page or follow the podcast so that you don't miss the next episode. We'll be back next week. Mel, what are we covering next week?
I'm kind of scared for this one. The next week we're talking about the year in review.
Oh God.
And I'm kind of frightened for this one. So yeah,
Me too, to be honest.
listen to it. Listen to us.
Confessionals.
And it's our last episode of the year.
Ooh.
Woo.
A whole season done and dusted.
Is it genuinely the last episode of the year?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. And then it picks up again in the new year?
And then we're back on the 8th of January. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So until then, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and also TikTok by searching Monaco Nail Academy, or follow our salons. Mine is Hard Lacquer NZ.
Mine is Jungle Nails NZ.
Mine is Patsitive Beauty.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Rakite.
Yeah.